Hey, welcome to the Create a Life That Is Beautiful podcast. I'm your host, Leticia Ringe, and this is the space to be for high vibe people looking to create a beautiful life and business. Let's do this. Welcome back to the podcast, my beautiful friends. I am Leticia Ringe, your coach, and it's such a pleasure to be here with you all today. Today on the podcast, we are talking about letting go. I'm going to jump straight into today's episode because it's a juicy one. Letting go will always be a part of your life. That's because all transformation, growth, evolution, big or small, requires it. The cycle of creativity, which is life, requires it. Love requires it. And throughout the transition, grief and discomfort is there for a reason. We let go of identities, beliefs, people, places, projects, weight, chapters, seasons, businesses, work, and every single time there is a transition phase where things are a little awkward before the new becomes the old and feels comfortable again. The transformation process that I shared in our last episode showcases this perfectly. Still, as human beings, we resist change. We resist discomfort. We think we feel discomfort or resistance because of the changes happening in our life. For example, we think it's because something is ending that we feel discomfort or that we feel resistance. But all of these feelings are really created and amplified by the stories we tell ourselves about that change. For example, my life is over. It's bad. I don't want this. I'm scared. I don't know if I can do this. I don't want to let go. I shouldn't be feeling this way. Even when we choose to feel feelings of grief on purpose because we want to honor the love we feel for the circumstance we are leaving, we then add on top of that stories about it being wrong, about it being bad, about us not being good enough, which adds to our feelings of grief and shames ourselves in the process for feeling this way. No wonder the process of letting go for most of us feels so bad. And no wonder most of us avoid the transformations and transitions that we're feeling called to in our life when we know it's going to happen anyway. Every single time I have resisted a change, growth, evolution, or transformation in my life, it has made the process so much harder. And eventually the universe comes in and it hits me over the head in a way that makes me wake up. And it's really, really painful as a result. So every time I have resisted and had this inevitable unfolding, the lesson I've taken away is I got to get better at letting go because I can't have that happen again. Last year, I experienced an entire year of letting go. Through that process, I learned so much about this subject. And today I'm sharing the summary of all that learning direct from my inner voice to yours. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about when I talk about inner voice, I'm talking about from my intuition, which is my inner wisdom, which comes from a place of love and abundance and connection. And you have an inner voice within you. You have inner wisdom and knowing that is connected to mine. And so you will all resonate with what I share on a very deep level. One morning on the full moon in Gemini in December, I woke up with words pouring out of me. I opened my laptop and wrote word for word what my inner voice wanted to tell me. My inner voice gave me the entire process for letting go, which I had been messily working my way through that entire year as I let go of every aspect of my life as I knew it, including a 10-year romantic partnership, my plans for traveling around the world nomadically, and my multiple six-figure per year business as I'd known it. It was time to let go of these identities and dreams and stop clinging on to them once and for all so that I could live my next evolution that I had been called to for years. With the inner voice guidance that I'm about to share with you in my hand, I made the entire day on the full moon in Gemini into a process that implemented all of this guidance about letting go so that I could complete the letting go process that I had been in and been resisting once and for all. This was such an important moment for me because thereafter I leapt into big leaps. I took big leaps. I took courageous action and I leapt into the unknown completely. Some of what I leapt into I had been sensing for years. These steps led me to approximately 6 weeks later committing to a new romantic relationship, a new business vision for my coaching business, and a new body of work on conscious relationships that you're all starting to hear about now, and ending my nomadic travels for something deeper after traveling for the past 2 years. These details weren't clear when I let go. I stepped into the unknown to receive the clarity, which quickly came once I truly let go in faith and courage. I announced to my clients that our programs were wrapping up without knowing what the next evolution of my business truly looked like. I moved to London to explore a new connection with someone who I wasn't even speaking with at the time. Now we're in a relationship together. I took courageous action and leapt into the unknown, having let go of the old, and it paid off. I now have a multi-million-dollar business vision, which is far bigger than our last one, and we are actively implementing this now. I'm in a beautiful romantic relationship with a partner who is well versed on conscious relationship principles, just as I am. And I'm now living and traveling, moving about the world in a more intentional, purpose-driven way that deeply nourishes my soul. This episode will answer questions like, how can I make letting go more graceful and conscious? Is it okay to leave people and places behind? Why does letting go feel painful? How do we know when it's time to end? What do we do when we're feeling called to let go of something, but we don't know what the next evolution actually is? And how do I know I've made the right decision once I've let go because it feels so uncomfortable? So my beautiful friends, if you've got something big or small that you're deciding whether to leave or let go of, this episode will help you do that with more consciousness, grace, and love. Here are the 5 bits of information from my inner voice to yours. Number 1. It's time to let go when you notice yourself feeling frustrated with a situation, person, or place, and you receive the knowing that something is going to end. Number 2, these are signs that it's time to let go, but that doesn't always mean right away. Number 3, these first signs are invitations to begin the letting go process, which must first begin with gratitude. An invitation to shift into graceful exit and a sweet nostalgia for what has been. The end is coming and it's time to enjoy this current chapter, volume, season, because it will be over soon. There will never be another moment like this. In other words, it's time to come into alignment with what is coming to an end. It's time to love it, accept it, and celebrate it. This might feel counterintuitive because sometimes we think it's easier to be frustrated with, in conflict with, in tension with, or even just plain hate what we are leaving. But that's never the case. The hate, the conflict, the tension only hurts us. If we use the initial contrast to simply let us know that something is coming to an end, and then we shift into gratitude and love for that thing, we get to experience a conscious exit, a loving ending, a true celebration. A lack of discipline and responsibility when it comes to endings have protected you from accepting responsibility for your decisions. Instead, you have wanted to give up responsibility to the universe or others, accepting what unfolds rather than recognizing your true conscious power of creation. You have created your life exactly as it is today, including all of the pain, and for that you must take responsibility. That can be a hard pill to swallow, but once you do, you recognize that conscious creation is within you at all times, and therefore the power to truly create what you most deeply desire. There are no excuses anymore. There is just you and the reality that you are bringing into existence without excuse. Somewhere along the line, you learned scarcity and that you must hold on to all the experiences you have in life, all the people, all the things, because you might be left with nothing. You also learned that letting go of others, of chapters, meant that you didn't care for what you were leaving behind. In fact, you learned to see it even as leaving behind. Neither of these are correct. There is nothing we own. There is nothing we lose. There is nothing to hold onto. There is nothing left behind. Everything we experience happens for a reason, and we bring those experiences with us, not even just in this life, but in all the lives your soul will live. Death isn't real, so why would it be real that we leave anyone or anything behind? Of course they come with us. And if we allow ourselves to celebrate what has been, we get to sit in the abundance of what we have enjoyed. We get to move through the transition from old into new, into grace, love, and true abundance. We get to appreciate and receive, therefore, all the gifts of that chapter in its fullness. Rather than diminishing what has been, minimizing what has been to try to make the action of letting go easier. Any level of diminishment only makes letting go harder. You taint what was, and you will regret that. Usually this process of tainting is then followed by holding on to what you are letting go of. Why would we taint what we don't want to let go? It makes no sense. Allow yourself to move into graciousness, love, gratitude, a sweet nostalgia and celebration. Allow yourself to come into presence fully with what is. This is how you come consciously to any ending. Full acceptance and awareness of what is, which usually involves an appreciation for the aspects you once might have criticized. You guess this will make the process of letting go harder, but remember, it just makes it sweeter. It's important to remember that letting go is meant to be challenging. It's hard because your mind has created an identity and attachment to what you are letting go of, even when you know it's no longer good for you, or the highest path for you, or even in alignment with your soul, your purpose, your very essence and being. But still, it has been a part of your experience, and therefore there is a level of familiarity and comfort with that thing. Your mind is attached. It wants to hold on. Any parting is a death to your ego. You are leaving something behind. What we must remember is that this attachment, and therefore difficulty with letting go, is beautiful in and of itself. It shows that we had something, that we allowed love in. And now it's time to let go in love and with love to create space for the new. More love. On the other side of love is always pain, and therefore you are meant to experience pain. It shows us that you have loved. You opened your heart, and for that is the real celebration. So allow yourself the best ending. Celebrate it fully. Reflect, look back, enjoy, come to a conscious close. 4. How do we know when it's time to end? This is the hard part, because now you know it's coming to an end, but you probably don't know when. Of course, if you do have this information, then you work towards that ending consciously, in presence and love. However, if you don't know when the ending is coming, you still work towards an ending, but you stay open to when the ending will occur. You are awaiting the sign. This can be an extremely hard phase to allow yourself to be in. You just want to know after all. The trouble here is that many of you try to leap into the new in order to replace the discomfort of letting go, and in doing that you try to rush decisions, or worse, make the decision to not fully let go of what you know you need to let go of, and instead try to bring the parts you find really hard to let go of with you. This is not what you want to do, because you will rush into something that is not meant for you, or you will take up the space you need to create for clarity to arrive and enter into a diluted version of the new that is neither old nor new. Both of these realities come from fear. They are not fueled with the energy of trust, which is the energy you need to draw from here. You have to sit in the unknown, in gratitude for what you are leaving behind, without leaving it behind just yet, but with the readiness to leave it behind at any minute when the knowing arrives. This is difficult to do without checking out. That's why many people lean into criticizing or despising what they are leaving behind. It helps to start the separation process, and it seems like that you will make leaving the thing behind easier. Remember, it won't. The separation process involves pain for a reason. Accept instead that there will be some pain, and that is okay. You still love what you're leaving behind in its fullness. You allow yourself with grace and love to sit between the space of the known and the unknown. Acceptance itself is what creates the space. Sometimes this acceptance will create space for the clarity that it's time to let go. This might involve you really dropping into the unknown without anything else taking up your space, or you might receive the clarity about what you are now stepping into. This is the situation that you all hope for, so that you jump from one known to the other. Either way, you will experience pain in this transition, because new, whether it's known or unknown, is unfamiliar. It's uncomfortable, and it feels this way for a reason. You're on the right path. Courage is required here. Lean on courage. Lean on trust. Lean on faith. You know you're meant to leave the thing, and you do so in love and courage. You know that you're meant to be feeling pain right now, and you allow and accept that pain of separation to be there. You know you're meant to feel some fear right now as you step into the new. You are on the right path. Keep going. Keep trusting. Trust at this stage is your friend. Signs that it might be time to let go without knowing what the next step actually is once you are in the place of true love and acceptance, you continue to experience a lack of flow. External resistance comes, in which it makes it clearly difficult for you to continue. For instance, if it's about leaving a job, you might be fired. If it's about leaving a partner, they might ask for a separation. Instead of hating on the thing and the sign, you accept it as a sign you are waiting for to come to a close of this chapter or volume. Or you might receive a reading in which the person says, it's time to let go. Now we let go. Alternatively, you might receive an internal knowing that now is the time. The sooner you let go, the better. Holding on will only make it harder for everyone involved. The time chosen by the universe is the time that is right for all involved. Usually, knowing arrives first, but sometimes we find it difficult to hear, and that's why external situations, often in the form of resistance, so that you can really see it and be aware of the contrast, arrives. So if you want things to be as peaceful as possible, check in regularly and don't ignore your knowing. Leave it all completely behind. Remember, the pieces that come with you are already with you. 5. Then we step into the new space. It's right that it feels uncomfortable. It's right that it feels unknown. It's right that you don't have all of the details. Holding on to anything from the past chapter will only dilute the clarity you receive here. So if clarity is what you desire, the full act of letting go of the past is what is required. How do you know when you are still holding on? Look to your body. Is there tension, tightness, heaviness, stuckness, contraction? The body is likely showing you that you are holding on. It's time to let go. Physically, energetically, mentally, spiritually, shake up your energy. Move your body. Open up to and explore a new identity. Ask for support and guidance as you move spiritually into this new chapter. Allow yourself to rest in the unknown, knowing that unknown will inevitably become the known at some stage, and that letting go is also an inevitable part of the process. One day you will let go of this too. So start with presence now. Be in the gratitude, the celebrations, the sweet nostalgia for this moment. In truth, there will never be a moment like this again. There will never be as much unknown on this project, and therefore wonder, surprise, and delight like this ever again. There will never be this day, this start, this. So celebrate where you are with the detail, the clarity, the knowing and not knowing you have right now. Presence with what is the only thing that makes letting go any easier. So there you have it, my beautiful friends. From my inner voice to yours, everything you need to know to let go with more consciousness, love, and grace. Whether it's a relationship, a business, a place, an identity, a belief system, a chapter, a place of employment, trust your knowing and work your way through the steps included in this excerpt. For me, it looked like turning some of this guidance into powerful journal questions, then taking myself through a day-long ritual that allowed me to let go symbolically on all levels. I set the intention in everything I did that day to let go. I had a massage, I had cupping done, I swam in the ocean, I danced, I meditated, I had conversations, I had a celebratory dinner. All of it was infused with the intention of letting go, and so I did. I finally let go. And I promise something special is awaiting you on the other side, just like it was for me. And if you want help with this process, I can help you in my transformational coaching program. Whether you know it's a business, a relationship, or your life that needs to change. You'll have a no BS coaching with a highly trained coach in transformation. Together, we'll make sure your transition takes you to the highest, deepest, and most evolved next version of you. Don't wait any longer if you're feeling the call and you know this opportunity is for you. One-to-one coaching with me. I can't wait to hear about the transition calling you. Head to www.leticiaringe.com/coaching now and follow the links to make your application. All right, my beautiful friends, I'll see you in our next episode. Thank you for listening to the Create a Life That Is Beautiful podcast. I'm your host, Leticia Ringe, and I appreciate you so much. If you would like support one-to-one as you up-level your life, business, or relationships in a conscious, intentional, and love-focused way, then head to leticiaringe.com/coaching. I'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye.